Governor Neil Abercrombie's administration has been criticized over a lack of transparency, but there could be changes in the works to fix that problem.
A memo was sent out last week that some say will help. Now, joining us over Skype is CivilBeat.com editor John Temple. Good morning, John. And before we get to the memo from the governor, tell us how difficult it is for residents to get important information in a timely manner.
Well, it's fascinating that earlier you were talking about a Google phone that you could use to pay for things, and yet here we are in Hawaii where it is almost impossible for people to find out what is actually going on at government boards and commissions, and there are like more than 160 of them, because they don't post their agendas anywhere but at the lieutenant governor's office, in an office, and outside the meeting room where it's going to occur. So if you live on a neighbor island, forget it. If you live on one side of the island, forget it. We're not using the capacities of the internet to help people stay informed about government.
So all of this started with Governor Lingle, and she requested that information be posted online from things like boards and commissions. But then what happened with Governor Abercrombie's administration?
Well, she did. And then when Governor Abercrombie came into office, her order, because it was just an order from the Governor Lingle, it became void and nobody followed it anymore. And almost a year later, we pointed out to the administration that it was a real mess. And they were like, oh, well, the policy's under review and, maybe look at the next legislative session. But once we wrote stories about it and how it just doesn't make sense, the governor, to his great credit, acted very quickly and issued his own memo requiring people to post, all boards and commissions, to post their agendas to a common state calendar where citizens can look at and find out what government is doing.
John, real quickly, is that going to be enough, or do we need even more transparency from the governor and the government?
I just don't see how it's enough. We can look to the legislature as an example of how well such things can be handled. The legislature posts all testimony, they post versions of the bill, and it seems like it would be very easy and for the governor to go much, much further. And now that he has a new chief information officer, that seems like it would be possible because he's a forward-thinking guy, and there's very easy steps that could encourage citizens to become more engaged with government.
Well, we'll definitely see if your reporting leads to more changes. John Temple, the editor of Civil Beat, thanks for joining us this morning. And
Thanks.
You can find the complete story we just talked about on civilbeat.com.